All right. So Cody, local guy here, obviously. Listened to the show before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We knew that. Cody's buddy. We go way back. Not way back. 16, 15.
I don't like to think of the time. Yeah.
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 All of our listeners are friends, so that's basically all 7 of them.
That's right.
We have hundreds of monthly listeners. No. Anyways, so Cody, you just come to the show just to hang out?
Hang out, people watch, see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best part about these things.
Absolutely.
So Cody and I have chatted obviously off air, but looking at getting maybe back into collecting.
Are we your enabler?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, definitely wouldn't have thought about it without you guys. So.
I'd apologize, but I need all the moral support I can get. So.
Yeah, Cody's definitely into pop culture and collecting as it is, anyways. Bourbons.
So,
I mean, not
leaf
strictly
metal, leaf pop century. You look into that yet?
Nope.
Yeah, that's a set you need to look into if you're into pop culture.
Pop Century.
Yep.
Okay.
There's a lot of folks that are. I mean, it covers broad. It's not.
Movie stars, music, sports, professional wrestling. Yeah, it's really broad.
It's a unique set.
Got it.
But yeah. So what did you have as a kid? Mainly.
Oh, mostly baseball,
Yeah.
and then some basketball. Pretty much anything Shaquille O'Neal was kind of my
Okay.
thing.
Nice.
Dan Marino. It's the only baseball I have, but I got the plaque that I won from Pizza Ranch.
I'm so taken aback. Pizza Ranch gave out cards and
Oh yeah,
plaques.
oh yeah, you won tickets, and I saved them up, and I got that Dan Marino plaque, and I still got it.
That's really cool. That's fun.
What happened to all those? You still got them?
So again, because of the show and spring cleaning, I pulled out my totes the other day. I haven't gotten through them yet, but they're out. They're in the living room, so that's my.
okay.
Okay. So
My
it might
chore.
be.
That's a lot of fun.
See what we got. Yeah, like I said, a lot of baseball. Me and my sister collected for a while, and
Even the stuff that's kindling is fun to look at.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's something I found pulling out our collection and
Yeah.
starting. I don't want to say starting from ground zero. Part of it is just reliving that joy, reliving
Yeah.
that innocence.
Yeah, and like I said, decent amount of Royals stuff.
Okay.
My grandpa and my great uncle had season tickets, and I would
Okay.
see George Brett before he retired when I was pretty young, and
Well, that's pretty cool.
so I got a bunch of those old George Brett and
Nice.
other Royals cards somewhere.
So have you gone through the show just to kind of look and see what's at the table?
That's next.
That's
Yeah,
next? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
Just sit
quite a-
down, get a beer,
quite a collection of
get the kiddos.
different things. Yeah,
the-
maybe grab a Pokemon card just
yeah.
because kids would like that.
Yeah. Get a pack of Pokemon out there and just see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it keeps them entertained for a few minutes, and
Yeah,
then it's back to sidewalk chalk.
back to sidewalk chalk. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So they have a pretty nice patio here too. So as Ryan talked about in one of our other interviews, it's a pretty open space. This is not typical of most card shows. So
Yeah, the tasting room is a really nice place to sit down and chat and trade.
trade. Yeah, there's a family in front of us that are ripping packs right in front of us.
Some Topps Chrome basketball.
And some Mosaic and some Select and a little bit of everything. So, but yeah, what have anything that you're looking for?
Not yet.
Not yet, but when something jumps out at you,
Yeah, we'll probably get there. Yeah.
awesome.
There's some really cool things out there. So, and I only look at 2 tables.
Yeah. Right.
Also, yeah, I mean on the TCG side, because I'm starting to dabble. Well, I really got it.
Careful.
I know.
Careful.
Really got into the Magic Ninja Turtles.
Sam was telling me that I need to maybe buy a Ninja
Oh.
Turtle pack and we can
man.
play.
They're fun. They're really fun.
That's I bought the Final Fantasy
Those
pack
were fun,
kind of
too.
for this just to look at them.
Yeah.
And then there was an Avatar of the Last Airbender pack too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing. They're
Yeah.
tapping into.
no, definitely. They're the new Funko Pop.
Yeah. Speaking of Funko Pop, do you ever see the super boxes out there? The baseball super boxes. they have Funko Pop mini pop figurines in there of
Oh,
baseball
really?
players. There's like 4 or 5 players.
There is a Pokemon version of the itty bitty pops or whatever those are called now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there are Pokemon itty bitty pop things too.
And the player actually can come out of the packaging,
Uh-huh.
and you can unscrew them from the base of it, so you can get just the figurine out of it
Oh, really?
if you want to.
That's pretty cool.
It's really neat. But we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, so you probably got some more interesting people to
No, you're fine.
talk cards.
Just wanted to bring you on, give you a chance to be on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you, Cody.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, Jake.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Jake just got back from a trip to Japan where he picked up a whole bunch of. Well, I don't know if you picked up how or what you picked up, but
Yeah, so I picked up a bunch of Japanese Shohei rookies and non-rookies. So 2013 is his true rookie card, or his true rookie year. His first year as a pro in Japan, and he played there till 2017. Anything in that time frame, I think, is a buy because they print so few copies of all of them. And what I've been saying for a long time is, like the Jordan star cards,
Yeah.
his star rookies, the Japanese Shoheis are the equivalent of that.
okay.
I like that comparison. That's really good.
Yeah. Do you, what would you say your total Shohei collection is?
Well, I got back, and I mean, I moved a good amount really quickly because it's really easy to. I mean, I don't do baseball at all, but I do Shohei. And now my collection or inventory is about 85% Shohei.
Wow.
So, and put it in those terms.
So if it wasn't Shohei, what would your collection be?
Well, I mean, I collect USD.
Okay.
But I mean, I typically just do football and basketball. I stick to goats for the most part.
People that are always going to be relevant.
Yeah.
In the collection world, yeah.
Yeah. I have a low risk appetite. I will like quickly move, the new rookie quarterback stuff if I can buy it, cheap enough.
Right.
But I really focus on, the greats of all time, like MJ, Brady, Shohei, LeBron, Kobe, Mahomes.
Do you dabble any in soccer at all, or?
I have a Messi rookie.
Okay.
So I mean, it's just tough to go wrong with that type of stuff.
Right, and with him, the wife and I were having that conversation last night about Messi. Is just he's a name internationally that you go anywhere and they're going to know him.
I mean, that's especially true with Shohei. Like, for one, if you've never been to Japan, you should go because it's amazing. You'll be in better shape when you come back than when you go there. And Shohei is everywhere. He's on the sides of buildings. He's on vending machines, in the subway, cardboard cut life-size cardboard cutouts of him. You see him everywhere.
That's awesome to hear.
Before we flip the mics on, you were telling us how you paid for the trip to Japan?
Oh yeah, so with sports cards. So
Right.
I went in October for 6 weeks. Met some people. Now I have connections to 2 of the biggest Shohei collectors in Tokyo, and I was pretty fortunate. I understand their culture. I kind of did the things to show them respect. I wrote them handwritten thank you letters in Japanese.
Wow.
And so I decided to come back in February just to buy more Shohei. So now I'm the only person that they'll sell to.
That's all. That's
Making connections. It's the best way to go about it.
yeah, exactly. That's so awesome. It just also goes to show that cards are
You're putting the effort forth, too.
yeah.
I mean, that's an important part of that equation.
Let's say
You're actually going there.
It was a bit of a risk, because I wasn't sure what I could buy, and they're collectors. They don't need the money. They're letting them go because they're getting older. So,
let someone enjoy them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And they, they said they wanted to let someone else have them that would appreciate them. Now, they think I'm more of a collector, than a reseller. Some things I'm going to hold on to.
Right.
But
I mean, you've already said that you're a low risk, and that to me means that you're also not going to turn around and move too many things.
So I take calculated risks. So there's a lot of people that they will only buy or sell stuff. They need to have like consistent sales every day of certain cards. Whereas I operate more in the gray area of, well, I trust my gut where I see value. And like one example, I bought a 2016 patch card of Shohei, numbered to 60. I paid 400 USD, came home, put it on eBay, got a 4K offer in 5 minutes.
I was going to say that's the market. Yeah.
Right, but there's no sales of anything. Like there was no data to go off of.
Sure.
I just had enough yen with me and was hoping that, hey, here's a big stack, and that it would work out, and it did.
Well, I mean, that's. I think between the Japanese players, the Korean players, like there's a lot of unknown players that are as good, if not better, than a lot of the U.S. players.
Sure.
And you can, like you said, because they're they're printed so low, they're valued more. But like trying to get a New Lee card here, something from 2017, 2018, they're harder to get, but yet they go for, like when they pop up, they don't go for that much because people aren't actively looking for them. I guess where I'm going with this is, like, I really wish that the U.S. market would value them as much as they actually, like, you've started to see with Shohei, but a lot of the other players that are playing there too.
Right. So, you're kind of touching on a good point, or something that I have thought about for a while, which is some cards are too rare for their own good. People don't know about certain cards. Like my best card, it's a Pop 13 and a PSA 10. Extremely low gem rate, and most people, if I showed it to everybody in the room today, I don't think anybody who I'm not friends with that has already seen it, I don't think anybody would even know what the card is or that it exists or anything about the set.
You'd have to tell the story, and no one in that room is going to have the time to hear it, unfortunately.
Right. And so, you have to be able to, for cards like that, it all depends on like where you're at in your sports card journey. So, you have to be able to hold on to certain things and it not absorb all of your capital. So, which is what I do. I pick certain things that I think are good holds long term. I'm big on just taking the profit and keeping it moving. But when I have a strong opinion, I stick to my guns and go, nope, this one, the market doesn't appreciate it yet. And the Japanese Shohei cards are, like I said, they're just too rare for their own good, but people are starting to know about them a little bit more. And there is sort of like an ethnocentrism issue there where, we're Americans, we don't really think about outside of the U.S.
We're going to value the U.S. cards over,
But the 2018 stuff is just going so high that they're going to look for alternatives. And, I think sooner or later they're going to really discover the Japanese stuff and it'll work out well. So if you have any, I would hold on to it, especially in a high grade.
We're starting to see a lot more of the American, like seeing Stadium Club over in Japan, seeing those sorts of things. Do you think that like the Tokyo series, all that, you think that's all that, you think that an effect in the Japanese market, growing the American side of things?
So, I mean, it's tough to say because, like I said, I'm not a baseball guy. I'm a Shohei guy. Like Shohei made me watch. I watched every Dodgers game of the playoffs last year, and so I mean, who else has that effect? Michael Jordan. That's it. So sure, okay, yeah, fair. And I'm sure there's a few others, but Shohei is Michael Jordan in his prime. One big issue with the Japanese stuff is that the Chinese are coming and buying a lot of the Japanese stuff, and they have different selling platforms that Card Ladder doesn't pull data from.
Okay.
Mercari and Yahoo Auctions.
Interesting.
So when I was buying, people were pointing to those sales that are pretty high, and then Card Ladder has no data on them at all. So, that's kind of a an obstacle that I'm going to face, because I'm going to go back soon to buy more. But to your question about do those sets make the international audience more interested in the U.S. stuff? I mean, in theory, it sounds like it makes sense. I went to a Topps WBC Shohei exhibition where it was, they had all these things set up about Shohei. They had his biggest cards, his multi-million-dollar cards, in a bulletproof case with security there. And it was I think the Topps Series 1 release, or whichever one came out a few weeks ago. And so they had like the Topps stuff releasing there where you could go up and order it. So they are getting more and more interested in Topps, not just the BBM.
It's an amazing story. Cool. I love it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We are with Brady Wells, who is a TCG guy, which is outside of my experience. I've always been kind of curious about how it works. I don't expect a full 90-minute breakdown of what to look for and all that. But
I'm not giving you one. Tough luck, but yeah, I wanted to see, what you brought, what you're looking for, and give me like a 30-second, rundown of how TCG works, especially in your specific area, because it's not Pokemon.
Yeah, it's I'm a Dragon Ball guy. I thought about getting back into Pokemon. When I was a kid, I was super into Pokemon, and it was funny because I was out to dinner with my parents the other week, and they found this old Japanese Dark Blastoise, and I was they're like, do you want that? I'm like, yeah,
I do.
Give it to me. But yeah, no, I what got me back into it was just the nostalgia, but what kept me in it, and it was cool. My son, I got a 5 and a 2-year-old. We started watching Dragon Ball together, and we got on the Cell arc, and I don't know if you're Dragon Ball, you know who Cell
Sure,
is.
yeah, I remember
and
that.
There's the one episode where Gohan's just blasting him with one hand, and I actually pulled that card. And
Oh,
my son
nice.
was just hype. And then, so that's just kind of what got into it, and then I just the cards in themselves, they're really great quality, and it's just nice to be able to have something that's a fun hobby. But then now I'm getting into playing in tournaments too. So yeah, that's the other thing is the hobby turns into something that's stimulating for the mind, because I'm I used to be big playing sports, and
Sure.
now being a dad and stuff, I'm how can I do hard strategic
Something
things
competitive
with the community.
Yeah.
So that's what it is for me.
Cool.
Yeah, so what do you look for besides, you mainly just looking at the art in the cards? Or?
Yeah, favorite characters, and what's fun about the TCG and Dragon Ball especially is that kind of certain decks and boosters are within different timelines of what you can expect. I've been getting a lot of Daimo lately. You probably don't know what that is. It's
I have
one
no
of the
idea.
yeah, but it's just cool to see the different cards and the different phases of the show. But yeah, I actually just look for certain characters, and then that kind of brings me into what I like within it.
Playability? Do you also look into
Just recently, yeah.
Just recently.
So it's I guess I kind of took it backwards route. Well, maybe it's not backwards. It's
I don't
feel
think it is anymore.
Yeah, most people look at collecting first and then get into playing. Before it was playing first, and then you're oh, this is collecting. So I took the new age traditional route.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with Magic. That's exactly. I got into it because of nostalgia, and then now I'm trying to learn how to build my first deck and build this, and just because it is, I want to do something with them, and then I can enjoy that card more as well. I get to look at it versus just bringing it out and cool, put it back into a binder or something.
I think that as a seller too, it's really beneficial to know how to play the game, because I know what to stand firm on, because if that card is valuable because people like it, but it also is valuable in the game, I'm not going to budge on any prices. It's that's around the board.
I never thought about that, but yeah, that's what, when I was valuing some of the Magic cards that I have, why certain ones, there's little art to it, but there's so much playability to it, it's more valuable than some of the ones that are, borderless or full art or,
So this is a question I've had a lot, just kind of rattling in the back of my head. So you've got an expensive card that's playable. but you don't want to handle it when you're out actually playing. How does that work? Do you have like an avatar or something like that, or do you actually have to play the card?
You got to play that.
You
got
to play that card.
So a lot of people will just buy a duplicate of the card.
Okay, so you got to get two, and the other one hopefully is a little beat up. So
yeah, there's a new booster out right now, the FB09, and there's this Gogeta deck. And like one of the cards that is like the bane of my existence, I'm just getting my ass whipped all the time about it. But like I pulled one of them, but like to build like this one deck, you need 4 of them. But each card is like $55.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but that's like one card out of the 51 card deck.
So
like
if you
4
want
cards.
if you want a good one, you need to buy 8.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's like you'll keep one for the PC, maybe a couple to sell, and then you got to put 4 into your deck, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah, that's always kind of rattled around in my head. It's like, if you're allowed an avatar, how do you prove that you actually own the card?
Yeah, in tournament, you're definitely playing. I mean, if you're amongst friends, and maybe I'll write down on a piece of paper, like, this is a Gogeta.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me play this. I don't want to touch it.
I have seen that with when they playtest some of the Magic stuff before it releases or whatever, that just take a land card, just a random mountain, and write, it's Dragon on there, and it's like because they don't want to play with that card or whatever, because it's, once it then starts to become more popular or more populated, then fine maybe, but still putting it into some sort of play sleeve, and that way you're trying not to bang the crap out of them. And
that's all I have.
So, like, what makes, you guys are talking about the green and red.
yeah.
Tell me something about sports cards if I get any in my hand, what I should look for.
So,
First,
color matches are important. So, like, that is the Cincinnati Reds.
So
A red parallel would be much more sought after than a green parallel. And in general, because there are so few green teams in baseball, green is not the most sought after of the parallel colors. So that's what's going on with that.
yeah, so it is still. First and foremost thing I'd tell you about sports collecting is collect what you like. If you like to watch baseball, collect baseball. If you like to watch football, collect football. Because to me, like, I just got into sports collecting, I guess it's coming on 2.5 years now, I guess. What I found was it brought me closer to watching my favorite players. Like, I got away from watching sports because I would live and die, like, I was a big college hockey fan. If my college hockey team lost on a Friday, then go into Saturday college football. If my football team lost on Saturday, and then NFL team loses on Friday or on Sunday, then your weekend just feels ruined. So I just got away from watching sports in general. Then I got more connected to the actual players, how the players are doing. So you see a lot of folks that are specifically one player collectors or one team collectors. You definitely have the folks that are out there that are turning and viewing it as investments.
Based on their performance?
Yeah, based on, Yamamoto, Yoshinobu Yamamoto for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He had a huge World Series. He came back and pitched as a closer in the last World. Like, he should not have pitched. He was tired in the traditional sense.
He was a starter, and you usually get 5 days rest after you start. He came back after 3 and pitched 2 innings, something like that, in
and
Game
was
7.
lights out,
Yeah.
and so that won him the MVP of the World Series.
Wow.
And made him. But it was his dedication to the game and playing that has then skyrocketed the value of his cards.
That's cool.
So, there's no playability, but then you still have that how are they doing on the field sort of aspect of it. But the biggest thing that I would say, if you're looking at cards, find what you think is fun and collectible, and collect for yourself and collect for the joy of collecting, personally. And then from there, is this value too high or too low valued? There are different apps that are out there that let you kind of start to see average sales, things of that nature. But again, I'm willing to overpay. I'm willing to overpay for something I like, because it's something that I'm going to find joy in. I'm going to display.
I've never.
There's 1,000 avenues.
Like going like the player route because like I'm a Miami Heat fan.
Okay.
But like if I would have bought a Jimmy Butler card last year, and then he left, I'd be so angry.
Yeah, that is hard.
That's the. That is the. I mean, that's one of the what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, ups and downs of sports card collecting. You know, it's my favorite line that I've heard is, you know, Charizard's never going to get popped for PEDs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. That's how I feel about
Never going to have a
basketball,
gambling
yeah.
addiction.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is that. Yes, but that's, you know, we're all human. So.
Yeah.
At that point, do you just become a player collector, or do you become a team? I mean, like Shohei is a perfect example in that. Like he was with the Angels, but he's even more popular as a Dodger. Cross town, like he didn't really leave, but the Dodgers are a more popular franchise. But he's still popular to this day, you know. Yeah, across the board. Whereas like Ronald Acuna, if he was to leave the Braves, depends on what team he goes to, whether or not he grows or lessens in popularity. I mean, they love him in Atlanta, and it's going to be hard to break that. Same thing, Kansas City. Bobby Witt Jr. is loved in Kansas City, but any team he goes to is going to love him. Any market's going to love him because he's a likable guy. But
I guess the only other one is like there was one thing that like came up, like do things off the field and court like go into the valuation of player cards as much as their performance?
It can. So
I'm thinking of like a Dennis Rodman card or something.
Right. No, Dennis
It's
Rodman,
like-
you know, he's still got plenty of collectors. Darryl Strawberry, ton of drugs. Still got plenty of collectors.
Right.
Right. Wander Franco, pedophile, not going to have a bunch of collectors.
yeah,
Right. So it depends.
Yeah.
It
Tiger
depends on what
Woods.
you're. Yeah. It depends on what you're able to look past.
Tiger Woods.
yeah. Tiger Woods still has plenty of collectors. I mean, when we were at the National this last year, there was a guy that he was only looking for Tiger Woods 2001 Tiger Woods Upper Deck Tiger Woods cards, and he didn't care. Like
Yeah.
it didn't matter to him.
Performance, goat level performance is also a major factor. in all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan has his gambling issues.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter for him. For his.
Interesting.
Yeah, for his hobby, for the valuation of it.
So-
People are still going to remember if they're more or less, I guess, if their on-court, on-field performance and what they did for the sport is more than.
Can
I
you
don't
look
say
past it?
Is it forgivable?
Yeah.
Is it like, okay, like, yeah, we've been there, we've all been there, sort of thing. You get if it's
We've all
in
done
that,
it.
then yeah, a lot of people kind of just
Yeah.
let it go, or not just let it go, but can look past
I
it.
think after Tatis got hit for PEDs, his market really took a hit. It's recovered a little bit, but it's not come back fully.
Yeah.
So yeah, on-field performance and that kind of stuff
Kind of
matters.
Yeah.
Matters.
Interesting.
All right.
Well,
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all.
If you could state your name for us, that'd be great.
Hey, I'm Ryan Gentry.
Sitting down, chat with us. What brings you to the show here? Are you looking to sell? You just enjoy cards? You looking to buy?
So, I mean, I got back into the cards probably about 7 or 8 months ago.
Okay.
Oh, you are recent.
Yeah, recent. Like, I mean,
And you already got a Zion case.
Yeah,
on
oh
it.
man, you know, I collected as a kid. I mean, it was back then. I mean, it was the junk wax era type stuff, and so I got back into it when I took a break from my job. I was like, hey, I'm going to swap jobs here, and so I needed something to kind of just take my mind off of it and just eat and just find something to occupy myself. And so I found cards, and being originally from the state of Alabama, I collect something that, especially here in Nebraska, that not a lot of people do, is I collect collegiate stuff.
Okay.
And so and the card world's very small. And when people get to know you, they learn what you collect. And even like today, I came into the card shop. The first table I walked up to, they said, "Hey man, we had 2 cards waiting on you for you to come here."
That's amazing.
So,
That's amazing.
And so, being able to buy cards, especially that nobody else collects, in an area where nobody else collects them, is nice. And when you get to know everybody, and they know what you're looking for, it makes your search for those cards that much easier, and for you to actually build up, what you want in your personal collection.
Right, because folks are also trying to help you.
Yeah.
Trying to help you
Yeah,
build.
and I think that's the great thing about it.
So you gotta be loving the introduction to like Bowman U and all that, right?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a big college guy, so I'm always hunting Alabama players. They are elusive, I will say that. They are elusive. For me to pull them, now everybody else seems to have their.
They don't need cards. They got all that NIL stuff down there. They don't need cards for that kind of money.
Yeah, but no, I mean I've had a tremendous time in the past 6 or 7 months, and the gas show, that was probably my 3rd ever card show, so a little overwhelming.
Yeah,
at the
that
time.
was a big show.
But-
Dan, that was that one that
Over
I.
the Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
And so it was a little overwhelming, but all in all, I mean, you learn a ton. You get to meet great people.
Jump in the deep end. My first card show
Was the National.
was the National.
And the National in 23 was my first card show since like 1999. So
I mean, that was my 3rd. I'd never been to a card show as a kid, and then so hopping into card shows, which the Omaha Sports Card Show that they put on at the Police Hall, that was my first one. Okay. And then I had come here, and then I went to the Gas Show.
Yeah.
And so that was my first 3 pieces of introduction into the hobby as a whole. But it's been great. It's been great.
So have you seen in those shows? Have you seen collegiate cards being represented at all?
probably Huskers.
Yeah, I mean, in Nebraska, we see a lot of Cornhusker stuff. Everybody's got their tables with the Chiefs and the Cornhuskers.
Yeah.
But because I have done deals with people on other things, whether it was just me buying cards to flip, so I could upgrade my PC myself, people start to learn what you look for. Now, me, I have the benefit of having an accent, so I'm very memorable in that stance. And there's not a person in this world I can't talk to, so I'll have a conversation with anybody about anything. But even at the gas show, being a big card show, the biggest card I have in my PC is a 1-of-1 that I found at the gas show.
Nice.
Okay.
And
Congrats.
so that was my jewel that I got to find at the gas show. So they are represented out there.
Yeah.
It's harder to find if you're not in the immediate area of that college team, but
Okay.
it's not undoable.
Yeah, and with that, has it been, in your experience at least, has it been more the smaller companies, or has it been the Paninis, the Bowmans?
Yeah. So Bowman U Best have definitely been the 2 that I have found the most in.
There's a Flawless Collegiate.
Yeah. Now I have
so you
I
can
have been
get
in a
some-
couple of breaks for Flawless Collegiate, because in the National Treasures theme, collegiate is just cheaper to get into, because people say, well, even if you liked a player in college, some people only want them in their NFL uniforms.
Okay.
So for me, I personally would rather have them in an Alabama uniform.
Yeah, I was going to
than-
ask you the opposite.
No,
So you
I
don't
get-
want Tua. You don't want Tua.
No, everybody tries to dump their 2 on me. And so,
Miami.
and I'm not a fan. He was great at Alabama, and I've got cards of him in an Alabama uniform, but I don't want him as a professional athlete. But no, Bowman U and Bowman U Best for me are the ones that I go to for college.
Okay. What about like that? What was it? Score. One of the Score products this year had some pictures of rookies in their college.
Yeah. So when I first started, the Score brand is, of course, it's cheaper to get into, and so I had bought some Score cards. I'm not a huge fan of just the look of Score by itself. It's a great introductory product to get into. Like, that's what I got my son into, is I buy him Score when he wants. When I'm buying my Prism and Mosaic, I buy him Score, so that way he can still rip with me. But no, you can find. I found some college players from Alabama in there through NIL stuff. But yeah, no, not a horrible product at all.
So do you you just football, or is it any Alabama?
So no, primarily football. I don't know much about basketball or baseball as a whole either way.
I know Bama usually has a good basketball team.
They did. They made, I think, the Sweet 16 this year. I think they
That's-
just got beat out by Michigan.
I mean, that's not.
Yeah, it's not
nothing-
horrible.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I'm not a huge basketball fan. I guess when it comes to the big three in sports, it's football, baseball, and basketball for me in that order. I grew up a Braves fan, watching watching Chipper Jones and Andrew Jones and Brian McCann play. And of course, the players I like are the expensive guys in the sport. You know, Chipper Jones is for Braves fans, that's the holy grail. And of course, his cards are outrageous if you find PSA 10s.
I just
in
picked
them.
that one up today, so it's just still he's still a great player.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's still. I got to watch him hit a home run the year he retired against the Mets. So that's it's good to be able to have that memory.
So what'd you pick up?
So today, the only 2 cards I picked up for the PC were 2 Bowman U Best cards. One was a Ty Simpson mini diamond autoed out of 99, and then I picked up a Ryan Williams who just changed his name to Ryan Williams Coleman, but he was a 5-star prospect in high school. I picked up his Bowman U Best mini diamond out of 99 auto as
Is he a
well.
freshman this year?
He is I think he will be a true junior this year.
Okay.
So he was a sophomore last year. He had a bit of a sophomore slump. So his cards are a little down, which for me, that's fine because I'm still a believer in him. But Ty Simpson, he's going to the draft this year. He's projected, right behind Mendoza as one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. So that's, for me, that's probably going to be the first Bama player that I look for to buy in the pros.
Okay.
So excited to have his rookie
collect
card.
as well some
Yep.
of the pro cards.
Yep, there's Bama guys that I like. I mean, even the guys that have been hurt, Trent Richardson and Najee Harris, the guys who were great at Bama and didn't so much pan out in the pros. I still collect those guys. Yeah, no, it is, and I'm the same way A&M fans are with Johnny Manziel. Like he didn't pan out, but he created some amazing plays and amazing games in college football.
What is Mitch shuffling through for? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, looking. Did I not bring it? Oh, I had a select Najee Harris card that I was pricing out last night. I've got a select Najee Harris black and gold. So it's color match to the Steelers. But,
Oh, that's sick.
I don't remember if I brought it or not. Nope, doesn't look like I did. Oh crap. Okay.
Well, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Hey, no, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a great show. Great show here.
Are you a listener, or are you just or did you hear-
So I will be now.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Take a sticker.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely. Grab a
I
sticker.
was actually given one earlier. I got it in my case here.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for entertaining us.
Yeah, man. Yeah.